Imagine you're standing at a crossroads in your mind. One path is lined with anxiety, tension, self-doubt. The other is paved with quiet inner steel, a calm authority that doesn't need to shout to be heard. Machiavelli, 500 years ago, had something to teach us about walking that second road, not with swords or armies, but with a psychological framework that he believed could reprogram fear into a tool, not a prison. Picture Niccolò Machiavelli sitting across from you in a dimly lit room, leaning forward. He says, "It's better to be feared than loved if you can't have both." Not in a brutal sense, but in an abiding consistency of consequence. Because emotions like love are flaky. They fade when circumstances shift. Fear, when structured and reliable, holds steady. That becomes your advantage. That becomes your fortress. Now imagine applying this inner Machiavellian code in your daily life, in leadership, negotiation, personal boundaries. What if fear, meaning respect for consequences, can anchor behavior more deeply than fleeting warmth or favor? At the heart of Machiavelli's pattern is this: human beings are, by nature, inconsistent. They're self-interested, prone to shifting loyalties. If you treat people only with kindness, they stay friendly when it's easy. But when things get hard or someone else offers more, affection often evaporates. Fear doesn't vanish as easily. Not fear in the sense of terror, but in the sense of knowing that choices have consequences, that crossing lines has costs you orchestrate. He wasn't advising cruelty, quite the opposite. He said, instill a predictable structure, not a chaotic wrath. The aim is to command respect, not to be unpredictable. Don't bluff. If you say something will happen, follow through. Show reliability in punishing or enforcing limits. That builds quiet authority. People start calibrating their actions rather than challenging your edge. But here's Machiavelli's subtle art. Command fear, but never hatred. Because hate undermines the very foundation of authority. If people hate you, they mobilize against you. But if they respect you, even grudgingly, they're restrained. You gain a solidity that love alone can't create. So form your consequences with clarity, but avoid trampling the dignity of those beneath you. Respect the boundaries of fairness. Keep your integrity intact, even if you bend moral gestures for strategy. In The Prince, he practiced this with powerful metaphors: the lion and the fox. You must look like a lion sometimes, unyielding force, but also a fox, cunning, discerning traps. Bite when necessary, but sniff your surroundings intelligently. That duality allows you to navigate conflict with poise and efficacy without falling into blind cruelty or powerless passivity. Then Machiavelli goes further in his discourses. Sometimes, fear must be renewed through example. Let one decisive act echo through the minds of observers. If too many people see wrongdoing go unpunished, they assume it's safe to rebel. But a single, well-executed consequence resets the scale. A strong reminder, a symbol that boundaries are upheld. That principle can be applied in modern contexts. Enforce rules swiftly when they're broken, so others understand limits. Lead through consistent action, not just words. For modern readers, these ideas connect deeply with psychological studies in leadership. People respect clarity, boundaries, consistency. Leaders who avoid emotional volatility, who don't freeze under pressure, who follow through on what they say, they build authority, even in personal life, relationships, or teams. When people know you mean what you say, respect you. Chaos and indecision breed resentment. Fear, carefully applied, creates structure and discipline, not oppression. We can bring Machiavelli into our own mental operating system with some steps. First, define your boundaries clearly. Know what is tolerated and what isn't. Communicate that firmly. Second, enforce limits consistently. If someone crosses a line, deliver the agreed consequence, no excuses. That builds credibility. Third, never act cruelly or out of spite, but remain stolid in your enforcement. That separates fear from hate. People resent cruelty. They accept firmness. Fourth, maintain composure. Even in conflict, Calmness locks in authority. Emotion weakens clarity. Fifth, craft your image. Machiavelli urged rulers to appear virtuous, even if they acted pragmatically. We don't need to deceive others consciously, but we do need to manage our reputations. Honor, reputation, respect, they matter. Appear fair, even when you act decisively. In everyday life, this means be consistent, be decisive, but be measured. People may not adore you, but they trust that you're steady, firm, predictable. That breeds long-term respect. And remember the paradox. Machiavelli was not a robot. He knew that a ruler who tries to be loved will often fail when trouble comes. Love is fragile. Fear, when disciplined, stays strong, but hate destroys. So aim for the quiet authority of respect, edged by consequences, not emotional terror, but practical boundaries. Machiavelli lived in ruthless times. He watched weak leaders get toppled, conspiracies flourish, evidently because their attendees thought they could gain advantage. He admired Roman examples, where one decisive blow prevented countless rebellions. In those republics, punishment wasn't cruelty, it was clarity. Yet he believed in image. A prince should seem generous, caring, moral, even if he withheld generosity when it could weaken authority. Because appearances influence people more than truth. They follow results. They ignore motive. So project a steady, capable persona. Respect isn't rooted in charisma alone. It's rooted in consistency. In practice, if you're leading teams, enforce rules with transparency. If rules protect fairness and performance, show why you uphold them. Don't waver. Over time, that builds a culture where loyalty is based on respect for structure, not fear of wrath. The key, structure, not spectacle. If you're in personal life, relationships, love is important, but boundaries are sacred. Don't let fear mean emotional dominance. Let it mean self-respect, calm firmness. When people know what to expect and that crossing lines has consequences, we operate from mutual understanding, not chaos or resentment. Even in conflict, speak early, assertively. Frame the narrative before others define it for you. That's another Machiavellian pattern. The first to speak controls perception. If you respond calmly, clearly, you stay ahead. Others scramble to react. And whenever you deliver hard news or consequences, do it cleanly, swift and without fluster. Dragging problems out gives space for confusion, fear of the unknown, anxiety and resentment to build. A clean-cut hurt is easier than a lingering wound. Fear, in a Machiavellian sense, is a tool of clarity, a tool of authority. It's not about harming, it's about anchoring behavior. If someone feels safe to test limits, they soon do. But if crossing lines risks something predictable and real, boundaries hold. So, what does it mean to destroy all fear? Not to cause terror, but to replace the unknown, the anxiety, the chaos, with structure and understanding. When you're known as someone who holds to your word, follows through, responds calmly, respects dignity, you remove the internal fear of unpredictability. You become your own fortress, and others learn to calibrate their behavior proactively instead of challenging you out of confusion or frustration. At the end, Machiavelli's method isn't about annihilating fear, but transmuting it. Building a mind state where fear of consequences is an inner compass, not paralyzing dread. It's about owning your boundaries, your consistency, your image, your authority. Transform fear into respect for yourself and from others. Calm, steady, unshakable. If you can reprogram your response this way, fear no longer disrupts you. It empowers you. And that's the mental method Machiavelli invites you to embrace. So maybe the real question isn't how to eliminate fear, but how to guide it, how to let it serve you instead of sabotage you. That's what Machiavelli truly understood. Fear, when unchecked, makes people freeze, retreat, or lash out. But fear that's framed, that's directed, becomes something else. It becomes a source of power. It keeps you sharp. It holds others accountable. It defines your limits. It tells the world, I won't be easily moved. Reprogramming your mind in this way doesn't happen overnight, but it starts with one simple shift. Stop fearing fear. Stop treating it like the enemy. Instead, see it as a signal, something pointing toward where strength is needed. A signal that you're close to growth, to clarity, to the edge where real leadership begins. You don't need to dominate others. You don't need to pretend to be heartless, but you do need to stand firm, to act when it matters, to build your own rules, live by them, and show others you mean it. And once you do, the people around you start shifting, not because you forced them, but because you've redefined the atmosphere. You've made it clear, this is who I am. This is how I operate. That's how fear becomes your ally. That's how the method works, not by pretending to be fearless, but by mastering the dance between firmness and fairness, appearance and action. Machiavelli didn't give us a manual for cruelty. He gave us a mirror to examine our own power. So when the moment comes, when pressure builds, when you're tested, remember this. Don't run from fear. Don't suppress it. Harness it. Shape it. Let it teach others how to treat you. That's how you destroy fear, not by erasing it, but by commanding it.